I understand that Bellator is not doing any more pay-per-views, and maybe because they weren't selling.
Their one or two attempts at a pay-per-view was just bad.
So is Bellator done? Are they going to sell their organization to the UFC? Because that's what all these organizations. Strikeforce did that. They sold their organization. What was that organization?
Well, you had Elite XC, you had Strikeforce. They got sold. And they Pride
Elite XC.
UFC bought Pride back in the day and brought all those.
They bought everything. So is Bellator going to be bought out? Because in my eyes, Bellator
no, and I'll tell you
they're
why.
not doing well. Are they doing well? Because the UFC is not doing well right now.
Here's the thing: the thing that keeps Bellator going is their
promotions.
They're not just the promotions, but their undercards. Because whatever town they go into, and Bellator's made so much money in Connecticut and New York, just by, I would say, manipulating and totally taking advantage of some of these amateur fighters and amateur talent in the tri-state area in Connecticut and New York and Pennsylvania, and bringing these fighters in.
Ryan Castro.
Get me started, man. And they bring these fighters in, and these fighters sell their tickets. They get a contract. They get that big opportunity to fight on a big stage, and the stars and everything like that, and the spotlight and everything. And then what happens? They get
John's writing
over.
again, man.
And John, here we go. Bellator MMA is an American mixed martial arts promotion founded in 2008, based in Santa Monica, California, and is operated by Viacom CBS, one of the largest combat.
And that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. But even CBS has had problems right now. They can't even keep shows on TV, not because of the COVID, but they don't want to pay. Go ahead.
But sooner or later, but going based off of what John said, and John, you're absolutely right. But sooner or later, if you don't get that pay-per-view money, these stars their contracts nobody ever signs a contract for the same amount of money.
Right.
In MMA, it doesn't happen that way. So sooner or later, they're either going to have to meet the demands of the talent, or the talent's going to go back and the UFC will scoop them up just to shove it in Bellator's face.
Of course they will.
Because that's what they like doing.
I'm very surprised Rory McDonald, after his contract was up about a year ago, he took another contract with Bellator. I guess he's making more money with Bellator than he was going to make with UFC because
they allow him to do the endorsements, his own endorsements.
No, I understand that, but is he making more money than he would make in the UFC if he becomes a champion or he's in that 170 division and he wins that belt? I don't know.
Based off of the fight cards and some of the talent, some of the older talent, you see what they're doing with the older talent. Do you really think that they're putting these guys in a situation where they're making top dollar? Other than Dominic Cruz on that fight card, on that prospective fight card.
A joke.
That mega card.
No, that's mega.
Other than Dominic Cruz.
Mega headache.
Other than Dominic Cruz, do you actually see any of those other guys, like Verdum? You got Verdum on the fight card. The first guy to defeat Fedor. The most overrated talent.
I like Fedor. I like Fedor.
If you want to see a joke, I'll say it's Fedor. And don't get me wrong, I know he's fought and beat some major talent. I understand that. But when you look at how much quality
he didn't just
talent,
beat him, he killed him.
But when you look at the quality that he fought opposed to the rest of them, Obi Chung, what the hell?
So hold on one second.
You want to talk about talk about McGregor?
That's what I want to say.
Fedor was worse. What they fed Fedor was worse.
Give me a break.
If you go side by side,
Fedor, how many wins did he have in a row before he lost?
Against who?
But he still won 80 fights in a row or 70 fights in a row or something like that.
So if McGregor did it, Speedy,
but he didn't.
Speedy, listen to what I'm saying, Speedy. You're going to like this one. Now, if McGregor...
Buy his vibrators in stores near you, by the way.
If McGregor... suck. If McGregor... Okay, at least McGregor... Alvarez, this, that, Poirier, you go down that list. Then meanwhile, you have Fedor... Shut up, man. You have Fedor going down. You go down Fedor's list. You have a whole bunch of guys that they pull out of Europe that have a bunch of 8-8 records, 0-2. They're former sumo wrestlers, former Olympians from like 1968, and all that. I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. The biggest thing that Fedor could have possibly ever did was when they screwed up the whole deal with Brock Lesnar. That was the biggest thing. I can't even look at you right now. I can't even look at the monitors because I'm looking at you. But that was the biggest... That was probably the biggest mistake Fedor ever did with his career, was not taking that dual promotion idea that they were going to do when M1 Global the organization that he ended with, the Vladimir
Whatever
Putin.
happened to Tap Out? You know, the organization that was making so much money. I understand the Mask passed away, got into
When Charles Lewis
was it a motorcycle accident? Was he in a
it was a car accident.
car accident?
When Charles Lewis went under, or I mean, when Charles Lewis
Carl Lewis was a great
died.
I was just talking about Carl Lewis with one of my interns. He's a runner, so I love Carl Lewis. I grew up.
I was actually a track guy.
Really? So was I.
Yeah, I was a track guy.
I love
Not
Carl.
a runner. No. Not a runner. I used to throw things.
Yeah.
So,
and you want to throw the vibrator? Like a frisbee?
I mean, don't with that. Please.
It would sell.
No, stop with that.
It would sell. Are you a product?
When Speedy, wait till Thursday and you talk Speedy with all that stuff. If you
Thursday?
Want. Yeah, because I'm sure
Monday.
you probably have like different I'm sure you have like one per every draft pick.
I will tell you this. On Thursday, we will absolutely do an NFL draft party. We will have the draft here. We'll go over it will be funny. I promise you guys, it's must hear, must watch. It will be funny. I will be picking on Speedy, Anthony, and whoever's here doing the show with us. So
we respect nothing less. But what I'm saying is, the biggest thing that Fedor screwed up with was when they were trying to do that dual promotion and make that super fight with Brock Lesnar when Brock was the champ. Mm-hmm. That would have been a great money fight, and he actually would have did pretty. I think that would have been a nice, decent fight.
Yep.
Because Brock, just a powerhouse, not big with skill, but a powerhouse guy, wrestler. It would have been, pretty much a brawl. And then you got Fedor, who, when he doesn't look like he's, half asleep, you know what I mean, is a quality guy.
Are you kidding me? You really hate Fedor that much?
Personally, I think you want to talk about a setup fight. If you go back and you look at that replay of Verdum versus Fedor. Fedor sat there for about 5 seconds, and the only thing you didn't hear because the microphones weren't near his mouth was, go ahead, the triangle. Go ahead, the triangle. That's what it was. That was a setup fight. If anybody wants to tell me different, go ahead. I'm not going to listen anyway because I know that
Donald
was a setup.
Cerrone and Conor McGregor was a setup fight.
Okay, but we know.
Spit it out, Junior.
We know. Spider. Stutter. No, but what I'm saying is you go back and you tell me that didn't look like a setup. For all of the fights that Fedor won and guys that he beat, he got dropped on his head by so many guys and still came back and won. Coleman, Randleman almost power bombed his ass all the way through the canvas, and he still came back and won. Did all these things. Nogueira, he beat all these guys. But then you get tapped out by a triangle against Verdum?
Well, that was definitely a sales tactic for the UFC, that's for sure. I wonder how much they paid him.
That wasn't even in the UFC.
I wonder how much they paid him. It wasn't the UFC, that's right.
That wasn't the UFC.
But I wonder, because after that, Fedor
went on a landslide of losses. He lost to a whole bunch of guys that weren't even in his weight class.
And then he came to the UFC and he lost that fight.
The only guy that didn't beat him in a lower weight class was Mighty Mouse. There you go.
Oh, man, you just pick on the poor man. A guy was one of the best heavyweights we've ever seen. He was a dominant fighter. I'm sorry. He dominated for many, many years. And say what you want about him, and yes, it was a setup fight. We have seen many, many times in not just mixed martial arts, boxing, and in professional sports that people will buy, they will take the money. If you know what I mean. And it's a betting world. It's a gambling world. We all know this. It's not just MMA. It's all sports.
But it's different when Conor does it, right? It's different when Conor does it, right?
Well, Conor does it in a way that's just completely abusive.
How's it abusive?
He abuses people's families. He talks bad about people's mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers. Listen, just get in the damn ring. You want to talk crap about somebody? You want to throw a bottle at somebody's wife or girlfriend? Or whatever you're doing, or
he threw a bottle at Diaz.
He threw a bottle. It missed Diaz and hit a woman.
I didn't say he had good aim.
Well, he hit a woman, and to me, that's violence. That's domestic violence right there. If you get caught on camera throwing a bottle at somebody, dude, he went up in Barclays Center and threw a hand truck through a window. Okay. Mm-hmm. The man is not all there. The man is abusive. And the man thinks he can do whatever the hell he wants because he's Conor McGregor. That is the problem with mixed martial arts. That is the problem with the UFC right now. They have they have madmen running this organization. John Jones, who can't stay out of trouble, a man. You have Conor McGregor, another man. And then you have the guy, the leader, the head honcho, the idiot, Dana White running that organization.
Who's worse? Who's worse, Conor or John Jones?
Who's
the lesser of two evils?
John Jones.
Is worse.
Is worse.
Okay.
He is worse. He's absolutely worse. Because as much as Conor has been in trouble with the law on and out of the octagon, John Jones, every single time, every year, there's something, drinking, drugs, this, that, steroids. The guy can't stay out of trouble. And I'm sorry, as good and as great of a fighter he is, probably one of the greatest MMA fighters we've ever seen. Yes. No questioning that he is.
Yes.
The guy's a joke. He's a joke.
Let me ask you this. If, in a hypothetical world, because you know it'll never happen, if John Jones was released from the UFC, like I said, hypothetical, because you know that's not going to happen.
Nope.
If he was released from the UFC, do you think John Jones would ever make John Jones money in a Bellator or a PFL?
Yes.
You think that they would be able to draw that much to be able to bring in that much
because he's
money?
A superstar.
Regardless of who the matchup's against.
He's a superstar. He's a big name, and the guy's never really lost a fight in MMA.
See, I don't, even with a John Jones, if he went to, let's say, Bellator, who are you going to have him go against? Chael Sonnen again?
He'll kill him.
You know what I mean? Of course.
He'll kill everybody.
He'll kill pretty much anybody.
He'll kill everybody.
He'll probably set up some kind of super fight. Maybe they may even use that as an excuse to have a pay-per-view. But will they ever be able to have that much capital to throw him as the UFC?
He'll be able to promote his own product on Bellator. So he can
he's not going to get a lot of endorsements doing some of the stuff he's done.
No, but he'll get endorsements because he is John Jones, and the guy is a superstar. His brother is Chandler Jones. Okay, his other brother's also playing in the NFL. This family is athletic as any family we've ever seen.
Yeah.
In professional sports,
true.
They're very, and you're going to say the Bosa family. Yes, the Bosa family is very athletic. The Manning family is very athletic. But this family, I mean, you're talking about the greatest MMA fighter of all time. Chandler Jones is one of the best pass rushers in football. Okay,
you may actually have 3 Hall of Famers by the time it's all done.
You think Chandler Jones? You think Chandler Jones is a Hall of Famer?
It's is
he's
he on
great.
that way?
He's
he
great.
has. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to use a word that I don't like using. Potential. He
Finger
has the
blasting?
potential. He has the he has the potential to possibly.
I knew you were going to like that one. I knew you were going to.
He has the potential to be a
Speedy
a
sensation.
solid
Speedy
fighter.
sensations, ladies and gentlemen. Buy them in every single Walmart. At the end of May, Speedy will be signing autographs. His sensational vibrator will be in Walmart near you. He will be signing autographs throughout the country. Definitely buy them. They're very, very exciting to use. That's for sure. There you go. What do you think? Would you use it?
I think you kill. Whenever we get in this discussion, you bring up Speedy with that damn thing.
Name. I mean, that Speedy sensation. It's a great name, man. It really is. Pump up and jam. Yeah, I mean, serious. I definitely listen. If you're a woman, man that's into it, I mean, this is
our very own Speedy.
That is a product.
Our very own Speedy agrees with me and says yes. He's almost at 100 sacks. He's very consistent year to year. He is a possible Hall of Famer.
Chandler Jones?
Yes.
I do not think Chandler Jones is a Hall of Famer.
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of guys going in the Hall of Fame right now that I think.
Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis.
Do you think Terrell Davis belongs in there?
No.
Do you think Tony Baselli belongs in there?
No.
No. Meanwhile, who got snubbed? Carl Banks. Of course, I'm going to go with the Giants, but Carl Banks got snubbed. How many guys got snubbed that are not in there?
There are a lot of people that got snubbed.
A lot.
Klecko should be in the Hall of Fame.
Be in there. Now, here's the thing. You got Baselli in there, Terrell Davis, and all that. Chandler Jones actually has a better stat sheet than those two guys.
I'm just not a Chandler Jones fan. Even though
I'm not a Chandler Jones fan either.
He's good, but I don't think he's a Hall of Fame.
If he's on the Jet, if the Jets were going to pick him up, would you shy away from it?
I would be happy. Obviously, he's a pass rusher. The Jets need a pass rusher, but I don't think Chandler Jones is anywhere.
If the Giants picked up John Jones right now as a pass rusher, I'll take it.
Listen, John Jones is on a whole nother level than his brother is. That's for sure. I mean, it's not even close. You put one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, and Chandler Jones, who's a borderline Hall of Famer that you guys are saying. I'm sorry, John Jones is the best fighter for that family. I mean, the best athlete in that family.